Yeah, I did that one too, didn't I?
I think you only did that one.
I didn't do 29? Okay, then I'll do 29. 29 is x squared plus 2. I remember doing 29. X squared plus 2y squared equal k squared.
Maybe you did it many years ago.
Or in my sleep. Equal k squared or equal k? K is not squared?
It is squared.
It is squared. All right. So this is 29x squared plus 2y squared equal k squared. All right, so we have to find dy dx. So 2x plus 4y dy dx equals 0. So dy dx is minus 2x over 4y. Or how about minus x over 2y? So for the orthogonal family, we're going to do the negative reciprocal, so 2y over plus x. So 1 over y dy is equal to 2 over x dx.
Wait, how come you don't plug in the... Oh, wait.
K went away. So ln absolute value y equals 2 ln's absolute value x plus an arbitrary constant. And we can say ln absolute value y equals ln x squared and get rid of the absolute values. So e to the ln absolute value y equals e to the ln x squared plus c. So absolute value y equals e to the c times x squared. And let's call this C1. And ultimately now we'll say that y is equal to cx squared, where c is plus or minus e to the c1. Gosh, you guys look tired, worn out, beat up.
It's your way out of getting out of work.
No, just makes me know I'm doing my job. Yeah, if you guys were all sitting there happy and smiling and, cracking jokes, then I'd know, need to toughen up a little bit. Huh? 32. Oh, wait a minute, 31. 31. Did we do 31? I don't remember doing 31. Y equal k over x. So k is xy. I guess dy dx is minus k over x squared. So that's minus xy over x squared. So that's minus y over x. That means that the orthogonal family, dy dx orthogonal, would be positive x over y. So y dy equals x dx, or 1/2 y squared equals 1/2 x squared plus an arbitrary constant which we'll call c1. And then if we multiply through by 2, I guess we ought to leave it this way, huh? So we'll just leave it as c. And we'll write it as y squared over 2 minus x squared over 2 equals c. And that's a family of hyperbolas, isn't it? Unless c is 0 and then it's intersecting the line. I think I did 32, didn't I? I remember doing 32. 44. 44. A certain small country has $10 billion in paper currency in circulation, and each day 50 million comes into the country's banks. The government decides to introduce new currency by having the banks replace old bills with new ones whenever old currency comes into the banks. Oh man, you gotta be kidding. Let X denote the amount of new currency in circulation at time t with X of 0 equals 0. Yeah, right. Did I assign that?
No.
I didn't think so. I think I assigned the ones that would be on the test. So I figure this stuff is tough enough. That's why I leave out the ones that are odd. So forget that one. Although, believe me, we can do it. 45, we did in class. 46 was probably not assigned, but I think I did it anyway, didn't I? Yeah. 47 would have been assigned. Let's do that one. So 47, beer.
You definitely assigned that one.
I would imagine. So we got a tank of 500 gallons of beer. Now that's my size glass. Too bad I hate beer. I like booze, but I just hate the vehicle. I mean, if they just install a little tap in your bloodstream, you could just inject it, it'd be fine. But, oh no, you gotta drink it. Yeah. A vat with 500 gallons of beer contains 4% alcohol by volume. That's weak stuff. What are we doing here? 47. So we're going to put 6% at 5 gallons per minute. And what do they say? And then we're going to pump the well-mixed fluid out at the same rate. So what's the strongest that this vat of beer is ever going to be? 6%. And if you could keep doing this forever, then at infinity it would finally get to 6%. Otherwise it's just going to get closer and closer to it as time goes on. So what's that differential equation we're going to write? Going to do something like let Y equal the number of gallons of alcohol at time t. So if you do that, then dy dt is, well, how fast is booze coming in? 6% for each
Doesn't it say
gallon,
not fast enough?
but 5 gallons per minute. And when we drain the stuff away, well, the concentration is the total amount of alcohol divided by the total volume. So that's what we have instead of the 6%, and that also is 5 gallons per minute. So dy dt is 0.3 minus y over 100, which is 30 minus y over 100. So dy over 30 minus y is equal to dt over 100. When we integrate both sides, we get minus the ln of the absolute value of 30 minus y equals t over 100 plus an arbitrary constant. Tell me about the absolute value. Don't need the absolute value or do need it? We're going to find out in a minute as soon as we do the initial condition. Right? So let's find out how much do we start out with. When t is 0, then y is equal to, well, it's going to be 0.04 times 500, which is 20. So it's positive, right? We start out at a small amount of y, and y gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It'll never get to 30. That's what you get if t is infinite. So I can just ignore the absolute values. Yay. We can also now substitute in when t is 0, y is 20, so minus ln 30 minus 20 equals c, or in other words, c is minus the ln of 10.
Where did you get t equals 0 from?
Well, that's when the whole thing starts, right? The word initially refers to a beginning. And so we're assuming that at the moment that you start entering this stuff in, that's when t is 0. And so the initial amount is whatever you started with here. So let's substitute this junk in. I've got minus ln, 30 minus y, equals t over 100 plus c is minus ln 10. So let's get rid of the minus sign. ln 30 minus y equals ln 10 minus t over 100. And now when we raise both sides as powers of e, we get 30 minus y equals 10e to the minus t over 100. And solving for y will give us that y is 30 minus 10e to the minus t over 100. Now plug in any value of t and we'll tell you how much alcohol there is in the fluid at that moment. And I think they're probably going to ask us something like that. What is the percentage of booze after an hour? So they want me to let t equal 60. I should make sure that they have said things in terms of minutes. At what rate is stuff coming in?
You wrote 5 gallon a minute, 6% at 5 gallon a minute.
Gallons per minute. Yes, so
Yeah.
t is being measured in minutes. So t is 60. That means that we're going to have 30 minus 10 e to the minus 0.6. And you're going to give me an approximation here.
Calculator, people.
There's two kinds of people, calculator people and, oh no, I see, that was a command to, it was a verb. Get your calculator.
29.45.
What you got?
29.45.
And why is that not the answer in the book?
24.51.
Okay, and why is that not the answer in the book? They asked me for the percentage. So the percentage, then I got to say, well, what's the concentration? 24.51 out of 500.
Calculators.
0.04.
4.9.
0.05.
Point
0.05.
0.05 more digits.
It's actually 0.49.
Oh, it comes out exact 0.49.
49023.
So that would be 4.9%.
Sorry.
Don't be. We're all on the same page. See you tomorrow. Don't forget your blue book.